Majority Whip Jacqueline Sharp's office is the backdrop for political maneuvering as Remy Danton approaches, then retreats from her door. Majority Whip Jacqueline Sharp's office is the backdrop for political maneuvering as Remy Danton approaches, then retreats from her door. In the hallway, Frank Underwood intercepts Remy, unimpressed with the acquisition of 2 votes for the education bill, including one from Patty Dreyfus, because Raymond Tusk's vote is crucial. Frank directs Remy to enlist Jacqueline Sharp's help to sway Dreyfus. Meanwhile, Claire Underwood is seen with an associate discussing how to handle personal questions about her marriage and career in an upcoming interview. Back at Jacqueline's office, her staff is working to flip votes in favor of the bill, but Frank pulls Nancy away to assist Remy. Donald Blythe approaches Frank, seeking direction, and Frank promises him a list of tasks. Suddenly, Nancy informs Frank of a lockdown, and a hazmat team quarantines the area for suspected anthrax contamination. Outside, Frank confides in Blythe about his suspicions surrounding the situation and his need to contact his wife, Claire. The difficulty of securing votes from elderly senators leads Frank to offer to engage with the AARP. The vice president complains to his advisor about needing to call Claire Underwood, but he is reminded that communication is blocked due to the Capitol lockdown. In another room, a bodyguard speaks with Claire Underwood's associate. The associate informs Claire Underwood that she is unable to make phone calls, claiming the Capitol is being evacuated, despite her scheduled CNN interview in 25 minutes. The associate speaks to Emma Thomas from CNN on the phone, explaining the complications due to the Capitol lockdown. Emma is furious, claiming Claire Underwood is in exclusive contact with them, and threatens to run the story regardless. Donald Blythe is in his office, trying to convince his wife he isn't at the Capitol on a Sunday, while Frank Underwood urges him to remain patient, needing his endorsement. Frank Underwood reminds Donald Blythe of his need for Claire Underwood's endorsement, urging him to hold on. Frank Underwood leaves, and his advisor sits nearby, looking concerned, and Donald Blythe again tries to call his wife through the door. The advisor reminds him that security has contacted Mrs. Blythe. Donald calls from the other side, stating that it is Friday, and a policeman will get them a radio so they can speak. Someone on the other end claims the person with him says she doesn't know him and demands his removal. Donald's advisor suggests she may have gone to another room. The conversation returns to Donald Blythe's wife, and it is confirmed she left the room. Later, Frank Underwood is informed that his advisor contacted Claire Underwood. Donald Blythe, sounding drunk, claims Claire Underwood has forgotten his identity, but Frank Underwood denies this. Later that evening, Frank Underwood and Donald Blythe share drinks on a couch. Frank Underwood mentions that if he has not committed an offense, he will not enjoy a reward. Donald Blythe adds that it is painful, and Frank Underwood assures him he'll be released soon. Donald Blythe complains about the funding for Alzheimer's care going towards care instead of a cure. Frank Underwood agrees, saying he tried to change this, but was blocked on Capitol Hill by Howard Webb. Meanwhile, Claire Underwood prepares to go live for her interview, as emergency services respond to the situation at the Capitol. Gavin, a journalist, leaves the Capitol despite the lockdown, claiming he has a story to break, while his colleague Peter expresses concern. Frank Underwood watches Claire Underwood's interview on CNN, where she discusses her upbringing and her relationship with Frank Underwood. The interview continues, with Claire Underwood answering questions about her marriage and political life. Outside the building, Jackie Sharp and Paul discuss strategy, and Jackie emphasizes she is not Frank Underwood. During a CNN interview with Heather Dunbar, Claire discusses her political partnership with Frank and her choice not to have children. Dunbar questions the rehearsed nature of her answers, prompting Claire to reveal a past abortion after being raped in college by a classmate who later became Marine General Dalton McGuinness. As Claire's political team panics, urging her to stop, she insists on telling the truth. Amidst the chaos, Frank visits Blythe's wife, Nan, seemingly to secure his vote on a critical bill. Hearing the interview, Frank orders a lockdown of the White House, fearing an anthrax attack that turns out to be a false alarm. In the aftermath of the interview, Claire continues the conversation with the CNN journalist, mentioning that the system protects him and has the support of other victims. Gavin, recently released from custody, is picked up by Frank's people and realizes he is being set up to be eliminated as a liability. Later, Claire and Frank discuss the interview and its ramifications, with Frank offering comfort and support.